This is a quick video to explain how to use the Giraffe system to run a feasibility app we've written called Sense. Just a quick Python feasibility. But really what this video is about is how does the Giraffe data editor enable you to drive complex computational processes really easily, even if you don't really know much. I do warn you, you'll need to know JSON, JavaScript object notation, but outside of that, you don't need to know much. So this is the project's view. You can right click and pan to look at it in 3D. And let's say we are going to build a project here. The way you make a project in Giraffe is you click on the polygon tool and you draw the polygon. And in this view, when you complete the polygon by clicking on the initial node, Giraffe will do a geocode and figure out the name of the project. So this is 37 Robertson Lane. And to enter the project, you just click on the label, and that takes you to the project view, right? And so here we are. There's the 2D draw map and the 3D view map, and we can get to work. The first thing we need to do is add the Sense app, and to do that, I go to Project Apps and then click Add App, and then I go to the shop and click Sense, and there's the Sense app that's appeared there. Right. The next thing we need to do is actually create a little design. And we do that with the polygon tool again. So we click on draw polygon and let's draw a podium. Let's assume we're allowed to get away with this. So 42, 38, 29 meter podium. And you'll see it appears in the 2D map, but not on the 3D map yet. And that's because we haven't applied a usage. So in the selected feature menu, let's click on usage, click Resi and update. And you'll see two levels of Resi appear down here in the 3D map. And also the area by building start appearing here in the App Analytics tab. So you can see the building ID, which is A, and the area by building ID and the area by usage, and the usage is Resi. Currently they're the same because the entire building is Resi. That's good for, let's change this to actually commercial. A commercial podium seems a bit more appropriate. And you'll notice the floor to floor jumped up a little bit. We'll talk about that in a second. On top of this commercial podium, let's draw a residential tower, just one, right in the middle. We clicked on the polygon tool and drew the polygon, and then we apply Resi update, and the Resi tower appears. Let's make this 11 levels. I can hit enter to update the data structure. Okay, so now we're actually looking at enough information to run the Sense app. Before I run it, I'll explain every bit of information. So, the Sense app has a few configuration variables or parameters, which you can see in app data. There's 4 of them. The amount of capital you start off with, I'm assuming 0 equity in this, you've got nothing. The discount rate, which is how you'll value the net present value of the asset based on its future cash flows. The cost of capital, i.e. what you will actually pay for capital, and a construction time. So you can change any of those and hit update. For now, I'll leave them the same. To look at the Giraffe app data, I activate Giraffe and then look at the app data menu again. And we're going to have to look at the Giraffe app data because each of these sections here has some cost data which is recorded in the Giraffe app data. And Giraffe controls types using this feature categories key in this JSON editor. So in this JSON editor, there's the feature categories key, and in the feature categories object, there's a usage key, and this usage key maps across to this usage key. So if we expand it by clicking on this arrow, you'll notice there's a number of objects within the usage object. There's a commercial object, a Resi object, a retail object, and a landscape object. And those map across to the options that you see here. So, if we were to add an object, so we've got commercial and Resi, if we were to add high-end commercial, I would select the commercial text, Control C, and notice I've selected that comma, then I would Control V. Immediately an error pops up here in the JSON editor. There's a duplicate key, com, which is not allowed. So I'll change that to high-end com. Then I can quickly update the high-end type from here. So I'll change the color from this hex to one of the X11 colors, which is light blue. I'll lift the net rent from 600 to 1,000 and the build cost from 4,000 to 6,000, and that's per square meter. Then I will hit Control Enter to propagate those data changes to the server. Having done that, I can now change this Resi Tower to high-end comm, which is the category I've just created. So if I click high-end comm and then click update, you will see it changes to light blue, the floor-to-floor changes, and the area by usage changes. Since this is a commercial tower, I'll change the dimensions a little bit. But now we have a really nice data-rich model, which we can control types and categories using the feature categories key, as well as the drop-down menu, which is over here. To run Sense, given we now have enough information to do that, you activate the Sense app, you click on the three-dot menu, and you just click Run. This is packaging up the JSON, which describes the giraffe model, sending it to the server, where Grasshopper is deserializing it, running the Python, and sending the result back. And the result, mainly in this app, appears here in the output panel. So, given our assumptions in the Sense app data of capital, discount rate, cost of capital, and construction time, and our assumptions which are encoded in the giraffe app data in the feature categories with the build costs and the net rents, we now have a financial model. We can make sure we're looking at the right thing by activating the right app. So if the giraffe app is activated, you'll see the areas by building and usage. If the Sense app is activated, you'll see the output of the Sense app, which is this cash flow. So given those assumptions and these areas which are implicit in the geometry, the net present value of the asset is $60 million. That is the discount rate versus the net rent. The construction cost is $27.4 million and the net rent is $3.56 million, and that is the net rent on the area multiplied by the efficiency. You'll notice the facade cost is 0. It's that little 0 down there. That's because if we go to the Giraffe app and look at its app data, all the facade costs are set to 0. That's because in this instance I just wanted to apply a square meter rate, but that facade cost key is there to allow you to pull out that cost if you want. So the max drawdown in this instance is $50 million, and the payback period is somewhat more than 240 months. Given the aim of a 20% profit, the amount that you could reasonably spend on land in this instance is $20 million, and you would spend $27 million on construction and realize an $11 million profit based on this net present value. So that's a very quick cash flow, very powerful cash flow that is combining spatial and financial data and very, very quickly. And the beautiful thing about it is highly, highly configurable once you get your head around editing these JSON objects. You can add keys and remove them, add types and remove them, and really highly configure your apps.